So, my name is, it's not Michael, it's really Michelle.
So, ang original sa akong pangalan ni Michelle. Kay French man yun siya. So, change siya yung pangalan sa akin.
Okay, I was born in Paris,
So, natao ko sa Paris,
France,
France.
and I was not born Adventist.
Dili ko natao nga Adventista, sa Adventista.
I was born atheist.
Natao ko, sukal pa, atheist ako.
In fact, it's not difficult because most of France is atheist.
Dili man lisod kay kasagara sa mga taga-France, atheist. Dili sila mutuong Diyos.
The main religion in France is Catholicism.
Ang mayor nga reliyon sa France, Catholicismo.
And the second is Islam.
Ang ikaduha, Islam.
My mother is Catholic,
Akong mama, Katoliko siya.
but she doesn't believe in God,
Pero di man siya mutuo Ginoo.
if it is possible.
Kung posible. So, muna na ako, atheist ko.
Until the age of 25.
Taman sa edad na 25.
So, how is this possible that I am now preaching to you?
So, ngano posible man nga nag-sermon ko ninyo sa tubang ninyo karon?
Well, it can be only a miracle.
Mirakulo ra gyud siya.
So, of course, as I was atheist, I was also a strong evolutionist, believing in evolution.
So, di atheist ko, di ko mutuo sa Ginoo. Kusog po ko mo suporta sa ibu.
Startled by the life of Mahatma Gandhi.
Murag na intriga gyud ko ba sa kinabuhi ni Gandhi.
I don't know if you know, but India was under the power of Britain.
Kabalot daw nga ang India under na siya sa Britain.
They were colonized by Britain.
Decolonize sila sa Britain.
And one man delivered India from Britain. Today, India is the most populated country in the world, even before China.
Kabalot daw nga mao nang pinakadaghang mga populasyon before sa China pa.
And this country was delivered from colonizing power by one man.
Kan kining
Was delivered by
ang
one.
India na save sila sa usa ka power sa Britain, sa usa ra gyud ka tawo.
This man was Mahatma Gandhi.
So mao ni si
And so I studied his life, and I was really interested by his life.
So interesado kayo ko sa iyang kinabuhi, akong giestudyohan niyang kinabuhi.
And he used two powers
Sa duha kakusog ang iyang gi
to defeat British.
para madaog ni mga British na mga tawo.
One was disobedience, civil disobedience,
Ang una, hindi siya hindi siya patuo sa civil or civil disobedience.
and the other one was fasting.
Ikaduha, fasting, yung puasa siya.
So I cannot do much about civil disobedience,
Debut ko anak ka ng civil disobedience. Debut ko.
but I decided to try about fasting.
Pero akong gisulayan, mag-fasting, mag-puasa.
And so when I was 19,
Itong nag-edad ko 19,
I did my first fasting.
mautong akong unang puasa.
I was still in university,
Na ako sa universidad, sa una,
studying mathematics,
nag-study ko, nag-school ako sa mathematics.
and I was in a boarding school.
Na ako sa, nag-board ko sa eskwelahan.
So I was not going home. I was going home only every 2 weeks.
So, maulit ra ko kada tuwang semana.
So I did my first 10 days,
So, nagsulay ko og puasa, 10 días gyud.
and I went home.
Ulit ko.
And of course, I told my parents I was fasting.
So, akong gisultian akong mga parents nga, uy, nagpuasa ko.
Now, what I didn't tell you was that my parents had a restaurant.
So, wala ang gisultian na akong parents na sila restaurant.
And my parents were very much into food and drinking and partying.
So, akong ginikanan na sila interesado gini sila minom, kaon, tanan nga lugo.
So fasting and eating was not really going together.
Kanang magpuasa ug kaon di gyud na sila mag-match nga duha.
So my mother got relatively upset.
Akong mama sa papayo,
So she called the doctor,
tawag siyang doktor.
and the doctor examined me,
Ang doktor, examine ko niya.
and he prescribed me to be fed by force in the hospital.
Ingon ang doktor sa iyang prescription dito nga dalong ko sa ospital kay ako pakanon ko. Pero sabi niya pakanon pa, pinagpuasa biya siya.
Now the restaurant was relatively big. There were 2 buildings.
So ang restaurant sa akong ginikanan, duha ka building, dako din siya nga building, duha.
It was also a hotel.
Hotel po siya.
And so I went to my room, which was in the second building,
So, nato ko dito sa akong kwarto sa ikaduhang building.
and I prepared my suitcase.
So, akong giandam akong mga sanina dito.
But instead of going to the hospital,
So, abi ninyo,
I ran out of the back door.
imbes so ato ko hospital, ning ikyas ko dito sa back door.
And I ran.
Dagan yun ko.
Even though I was fasting, I was running.
Bisan, nagpuasa ako, pero kusog akong magdagan.
And I never saw my parents again for many years.
So kada to, nag yun ako sila makitaan sa so many years. Wala yun.
So I went to see my sister.
So ato ko dito sa balay sa akong igsoon nga babae.
My sister was not in good term with my parents.
Akong igsoon nga babae, dili sila maayo sa akong mama.
So
Dili maayo lang relasyon.
that's why I went to see her.
So mo nang dito ko sa iya.
So I stayed with my sister and her husband for a few months.
So nag-stay ko dito sa akong igsoon nga babae sa iyang balay sa bana. Mga duha ka bulan gyud.
And at that time, in a special underground magazine, there was an article about autistic children.
So dito sa usa ka magazine nakita ko dito. Nakita ko about sa mga autistic dito mga bata.
So if you don't know what is autistic children, these are children, and of course there is what we call a spectrum of autism. But I'm speaking about the strongest, the deepest of the spectrum, which is when the children cannot even communicate. They cannot even understand what is communication.
So kaning mga autistic, kung wala mo na sayo, kani sila, na akong na-experience yan, na kani sila, dili sila kabalo mo gamit silang kamot. Kanang naagil sila sa kinalisod na sitwasyon ba?
So they don't speak, but they are not mute.
Di sila kasulti, pero dili sila,
Amang.
o dili sila amang.
They just don't understand what is speaking.
Di lang din sila kasagot kung sa istoryahan. Di na sila kasagot.
And so I decided to go
So, nag-decision ko ato ko dito sa ila
and to be part of this experience with these children.
na maka-experience ako sa kaning mga bata, kaning mga autistic children.
Normally, these children are taken into special institutions.
So, ang normal yun na kondisyon, kaning mga autistic na mga bata, doon yun sila sa isa ka institusyon.
Where they are given a lot of strong drugs.
Tagaan sila o ka ng kusog yun ng mga duga ba. Tambalan yun niya sila sa kusog ng mga duga.
Just so that the nurses can have peace.
Para ang mga nurse na sila ay peace.
But where I went was not an institution.
Kaning lugar na akong giatuan, dili siya isa ka institusyon.
And they didn't give any medication.
Wala sila, di sila muhatag og tambal. Wala gyud.
These were farms
Na sila sa kanang katua ba, na farm,
in the south of
dito
France.
sa South France.
And I worked with these children.
So nagtrabaho ko sa kaning mga autistic children.
And the time passed.
Ihagin mga panahon,
And I was getting more and more frustrated with what we can call the society.
murag nadismaya ako, makita na akong susyudad, dito ang sitwasyon sa susyudad.
One first thing that happened, really,
Ang unang nahitabo
in this community,
sa kining komunidad,
these people where I was, they were mostly vegetarian.
kaning mga tawhana dito, kaning mga bata dito, vegetarian sila.
So I was curious about it, and I read a few books that they had.
So nahibulong ko ba? Basa ko dito sa ilang mga libro dito. Di pa ni siya Adventista, dito siya.
And so I was there in the mountain, and I read these books about, in fact it was about anatomy.
So dito ko, kanang bukira, basa ko atong libro nila dito, na tungkol siya sa anatomy.
And they explained that the anatomy of the digestive system
Ilang gi-explain dito ba ang anatomy sa atong tiyan,
digestive system
sa digestive system.
is not made to eat meat.
Dili gyud siya gi-design sa pagkaon o karne.
And also the teeth
Ang ngipon,
are not made to eat meat.
dili siya gi-design para mukaon og karne.
And so from one day to the next I became vegetarian.
So kada to, nag-vegetarian ako.
To me it was the truth, and I was looking for the truth.
So sa ako lang, mao to ang kuan gyud kanang truth. Mao gyud to ang truth.
And I never went back.
So wala akong ibalik sa akong gigikanan. Mukaon ko.
So this will be 50 years
So
in
50
November.
anyos na karong Novembera.
And after this, I saw that my spiritual, not my spiritual, but my intellectual capacity was better.
So kada to, ako yung naobserbahan sa akong kaugalingon, ang akong mental na sitwasyon lahi yun. Kanang nabi ko clear mind.
After this, I was called to do a military service, mandatory in France.
Pag humanan niya, gitawag ko, kaya na may mandatory nga serbisyo sa military sa France.
But I refused because I didn't want to learn to kill.
Wala ko, refuse ko, kaya hindi ko gusto mo patay ang tao.
And so I became what we call a conscientious objector.
So, itong say conscientious objector sa ato kay dili man siya gusto nga mopatay og tawo, so ning balikat siya.
Drug medics din.
This mundos, kaya di man gyud siya sa ato, dili ang tao mopatay og tawo. So di siya gusto. Ning balikat siya.
There is a special status in France for these people.
Na special na status sa arena po sa kaning serbisyoha.
And so I was working for the government but not for the army.
So nagtrabaho ko sa gobyerno pero dili sa army.
And during this time I met a Christian.
So kaning panahon na naka-meet ko og Kristiyano.
And so we became friends,
So dito may
but he didn't tell me about Jesus.
matwag siya is good about ang Jesus. Ang
But
Jesus.
he did tell me about fasting.
Pero nag-isgot siya o puasa.
And so he taught me a little bit more about fasting.
So gituduan ko niya sa akong pagpuasa.
And so I did a second fast.
So nagpuasa ko ikaduhang bisis. Sa ikaduhang bisis.
14 days.
14 días na itong una, 10, karong 14 na yun.
After the first week,
Pag humana itong usa ka semana,
my friend told me,
ang akong
I will
nag-ingon,
stop, but you can continue.
mundang ko, pero ikaw sige, padayon ka.
But you need to stop to work. You cannot go to work.
Pero, mundang kang trabaho, dili ka magtrabaho.
So I had to find a doctor who gave me a prescription to stop to work.
So, nangita ko doktor nga matandaan ko niya kanang certificate bitaw nga pwede ko di magtrabaho.
So I went to town, I went to a health store, and I asked them if they knew a doctor who could give me such a prescription.
Ato ko dito sa isa ka health food store, para mangita og doktor, matandaan ko kuan na prescription na stop ko og trabaho. ginagaan ko nila.
So I went to this doctor and he gave me a prescription. I was able to continue my fasting without working.
So, mauto na paghatag sa ako itong prescription na mauto na kapadayon ko sa akong puasa.
For 3 years later,
So, tulo ka tuig ang niagi.
I learned that this doctor was Adventist.
So, ako di ay nahibalaan na kaning doktora, Seventh-day Adventist ay siya.
But he didn't tell me about that.
Pero wag siya misgot about sa Ginoo.
So the time passed,
Naging panahon na,
and I was more and more rebellious against the society.
kanang niaging panahon na, murag tupo bitaw sa ako ang pagkaribildi ba against sa sosyudad.
And so I was considering joining a group in Italy.
Murag una-una ko, may pasiguro mo, uban na lang paning maribildi sa Italian.
It was called the Red Brigades.
Ilang pangalan na Red Brigade. Dugay na lang siya na.
Now you can Google it,
Pwede ninyo na mag-google.
and you will see it was a group that did a lot of damage in Italy.
So, kaning mga grupo ha, nakahimo gid sila daghang damage sa Italy.
In fact, they kidnapped the Prime Minister Aldo Moro in Italy,
Ilang gikidnap ang Prime Minister nga si Bumuro sa Italy.
and they killed him.
Kagi ilang gipatay.
So I was at this point,
So, diri ko sa kaning puntuha nga,
and if you go to a health food store at that time, you could see a lot of literature about Eastern religion.
kung bisita mo health food store, itong panahon na sa akong panahon, daghan na sila mga Eastern religion, ng mga basahulong ba.
And so I read these books about Eastern religion,
So, nagbasa ko aning mga libro kaning about sa Eastern religion,
but they didn't interest me.
pero wala gyud hatag og interest na ako.
And so I had like this dialogue with myself.
So, nag-istorya ko sa akong kaugalingon ba.
One voice was saying, what about Christianity?
Ang usa ka tingog, mingon ako nga, oh, kanang Kristiyano di ay.
And I responded, well, look around you, all these hypocrites and idolaters.
Nag-ingon po ko sa akong kaugalingon, tanawa ko ng mga Kristiyano diha, mga hipokrito na sila, oh. Daghan na sila gipang simbang ang mga idol.
And so the answer came back to me, well, you should not judge the origin of the people.
So, naitingog ganing tubag na ako nga, ayaw paghukom kanila.
But on their teaching,
Pero, ang ilang gipang tudlo.
you should read the Bible.
Basa ka og Biblia.
Now I understood since I had logical reasoning, I said, yes, that's logical.
So, tungod kay naman ko logical nga rason, siguro maayo ning moon.
But I didn't have a Bible.
Pero wala ko'y Bible. Wa ko'y Bible.
I was not looking for it.
Wa man ko nangita ng Bible lang.
So I was saying,
Oh, safe yun ko.
well, God heard it.
Kadungog ang Ginoo. Gidungog sa Ginoo.
When I had this idea that I would read the Bible,
So, naan ang tubo sa ako kaning ideya ang magbasa ko og Bible, mabasa ko og Bible.
my life was turned upside down.
So, akong kinabuhi, mura siya na, bali-balik ko.
I was taking care of a beautiful mansion in
So,
France.
take care ko dito sa usa ka dako nga mansion sa France.
It was so big that I invited some friends to live with me.
Tungod sa kadako, invite ko sa akong mga friends na puyo pagbana ko dito.
And so after I had decided I would agree to read the Bible, these friends came to me and they said,
So, katong nagdesisyon na ko nga mubasa ko og Bible, katong amigo na ko, ningtuon na ko.
you know, we are very nice here, and in fact, so nice we don't need you.
Abi nimo, ay okay na mi diri, enjoy mi diri. Karon, di na ka na kailangan diri.
You can go.
Nakaw ka. Gawas ka din.
So I was on the street, I didn't know where to go.
So, na ako sa dalan, wa ko pa, di ba asa ko paingon.
So I went to see some friends in town.
So, nato ko dito sa town, kita ko sa akong amigo dito.
Finally, I found one who said, yes, I have this little shepherd house in the mountain. I'm not using it.
So, nakakita ko, iumbitan ko niya dito sa iyang murag shepherd house niya dito, mga mukuyo ko dito.
There is so-and-so there, and you know him, he's a drug addict.
So, ingon ning ako amigo, kabalog ka, na dito si so-and-so, drug addict na siya.
So I was not a drug addict, but I knew him. We were in the same circle, let's say.
Dili ko drug addict, pero nasayod ko niya sa iyang kinabuhi, drug addict siya. Parehan mi diha sa murag group of friends lang sila.
And there were 2 bedrooms, this little shepherd
Dahil
house.
duha ka kwarto anang shepherd house.
And the owner of the 2nd bedroom
Katong tagiya atong ikaduhang kwarto,
had gone to India to look for the truth.
atong India para lang mangitan kuan kanang kamatuoran.
And so I could take his place.
So ako mo ay puli niya dito.
So I went there,
So atong dito na ko,
and sure enough, there was this guy,
so kaning nakiha.
and we became more friends.
So amigo mi.
And after 3 days, he asked me a question.
So pag human atong tulo ka adlaw, na siya gipangutanan ako.
Do you believe in God?
Ito baka Ginoo.
I was startled,
Malibulong ko ba?
but I said, no, in fact, I know there is no God.
Ingon ko nga, wala, hindi ko mutuo Ginoo, kabalo ko, nasayod ko nga walay Ginoo.
In fact, I believe that science should be able to explain things one day.
Nagtuo ko
Everything.
na ang science, mao gyud ay mag-prove, explain sa tanan. Maabot yun ang panahuna.
So he tried to explain to me the plan of salvation.
So, iyang gi-explain sa ako ang plano sa salvation, kaluwasan.
No, I'm not interested.
Ayaw ko kung ganana na, interesado.
So I went to bed,
So, higda na ko,
and I love to read.
ganahan yung kumubasa.
So I went through the books on the shelf,
So, tanaw ko dito sa mga libro dito sa bookshelf.
and of course, these were not my books.
Dili to akong mga libro ha.
They belong to the guy who went to India looking for the truth.
Katong mga libro ha, gikan to sa usa ka tagiya atong kwarto ha. Nga ni adtong India para mangita o truth.
And sure enough, there was the Bible.
Sabi ninyo, naay Biblia dito.
So I remembered that I wanted to read the Bible.
So nakahinumdum ko nga nag-ingon ko sa akong kaugalingon nga gusto ko mubasa ang Bible.
So I took it and I started to read it.
So akong gikuha, nagsugod kong basa itong Biblia.
And I read it without any prejudice,
So akong gibasa ang Bible nga wala gyud kuan ba, wala gyud prejudice.
without any preconceived idea,
Wala gyud ko'y mga huna-huna nga murag lain ba.
just to know what it was saying.
Gusto lang din ako may ba unsa ang gisultian ng Biblia.
I started in Genesis,
So sugod ko ato sa libro sa Genesis.
and after about 90 minutes, 1 hour and a half,
Siguro mga human sa 90 minutes o sa tunga ka oras,
something happened.
nainay-tabo.
But I have to explain that I was not taking drugs.
Siyempre, ako yung istikanin yung awag yung ko may take of drug, o droga,
Legal or illegal.
legal o illegal mga droga. Wag yung ko mo take ana.
But I heard the voice.
Pero nakadungog og tingog.
I was never used to hear voice before,
Dili gyud ko na yun sa anang makadungog og tingog bitaw.
and I never heard voices after.
Dili po, wala po ko kadungog aning tinguga after ato.
But I heard the voice.
Pero nakadungog ko og usa ka tingog.
And the voice said something that is still true today.
Ug kaning tinguga nag-ingon na hangtod karon. Ingon siya.
Now remember, I was looking for the truth.
So, tumaan ninyo nga nangita ko kamatuoran.
And the voice said,
Kaning tinguga nag-ingon,
this is not what men say.
dili ni gisulti o giingon sa mga tawo.
This is not what the church is saying.
Dili ni gisulti sa mga simbahan kung unsa ni.
It is this book.
Kining libro ha.
This is the truth, all the truth.
Mao ni ang kamatuoran diri. Mao ni ang libro na yang sugod. Mao ang kamatuoran.
And so I decided to take the Bible for guide for my life.
So, nag-decide ko na ang Bible, mao'y na ako sa akong kinukulit.
The next day,
Sunod adlaw,
we were leaving the little shepherd house was near a little brook.
so katong shepherd house, doon rato siya sa kanang siguro sa
Kasapa.
kasapa.
And we used to spend our days there doing nothing because we were hippies and we had no work.
So, nauna, hippie man ko. So, wala may trabaho dito, may magtambay.
And so I went there, but this time I went with the Bible with me.
So, katong panahuna, ato ko dito, bit-bit na ang Bible.
And of course my friend was already there. I could not believe that I was coming with the Bible with me.
Katong mga amigo na ako, natingala, uy, bit-bit naman yung Bible, nung saan siya?
And so I got to read the Bible,
So, nagpadayon ko basa sa Bible.
and I read it from cover to cover
So, akong gibasa, from cover to cover yun.
in 1 month.
Sa
Wow.
kapulan.
Wow!
And I challenged it to do it.
So, ako mong gi-challenge, himuan ninyo, sa kabulan ko basa.
Asa wala kami adlaw. Tibok dagay.
After 2 weeks,
Pag human sa duha ka semana,
my friend said, would you like to come to church?
akong amigo ningon, ato tag simbahan, uban sa akong simbahan.
I said, sure.
Sige.
And so he gave me the address.
So, tandaan ko niya ang address.
So we didn't have a car. We were in the mountains. We went to do some hitchhiking.
So, wala may sakyanan. Yan may sa bundok. So, imbak pa may.
And so he went first, and I went after
So,
him.
muna siya glakaw na yun. Ako rin sa lupot.
I slept in a public garden.
Yung tulong ko dito sa tuwa sa plaza ba?
First summertime.
Summer to time.
And in the morning, the next morning, I
So
went
now-
to the address they'd given me.
Sunod adlaw, ako ko dito katong follow na ko katong address ng gihatan.
And I was there, and I remember the street name. It was Street of the Virgin.
Ngalan sa Street of the Virgin.
And I tried to enter, but there was like an invisible barrier,
Katong dito na ko sa simbahan,
spiritual barrier.
gusto ko musulod, pero hindi ko kasunod. Murag na ay spiritual na yung harang ba na ako.
I looked inside, and my friend was there.
So, tanaw ko sa sulod sa simbahan, kitaan ako ako amigo to, ano ko sulod.
When I saw him, he turned,
So, nung nakitaan ako siya, nakitaan ko niya,
and he saw me,
nakitaan ko niya,
and he gave me a sign for me to come.
sinyasan ko niya,
And I was able to enter.
sumaw to, nakasulod ko.
So I sat down.
So, ningmingkod ko,
I had never been in a church before.
wag yung ko kasulay yung sulod sa simbahan.
And so when they were singing, I could not bear it.
Katong nanganta na sila,
I had goosebumps.
Hindi ko kaagwanta, hindi ko kaagwanta panginaw.
And then when the speaker was talking,
Itong nagkuhan ng speaker, nagtindog na siya.
there were 2 voices in my mind.
Sunay doha ka kayo sa akong mauna.
One was saying, get out of here, Michelle, this is not your world.
Katong isa ka tingo ingon nga, Michelle, gawas, dili di mo kalibutan diri, gawas.
You are an anarchist, a hippie.
Anarchist ka, hippie ka, gawas.
And the other voice said, stay.
Katong usa ka tingo ingon nga, pabilin ka, dili, pabilin ka.
So maybe I was a little shy, so I stayed.
Murang ulaw ko, ko na lang ko dito. Hindi ko na lang ko dito, puyok ko dito.
After the service, my friend presented me to the speaker.
So, pag human na itong servisyo ha, kung amigo na ko, introduce ko niya sa speaker.
That's how I learned that the speaker was his uncle.
Mauday ko, nasayod ko, naibalo ko nga, uncle di niya itong speaker.
And he himself had been baptized 3 weeks before.
So, katong drug addict na amigo na ko, nabaptize siya,
Wow.
tulo kasi mana ang gani.
So he was no more a drug.
So, dili na siya drug addict.
Wow.
And so the speaker invited us for lunch.
So, katong speaker, determine niya, ito.
We spent the day with the family.
So, dito may kauban siyang family dito.
And when the day was finished, the speaker said, you know, I was nominated the speaker in another town.
Kaya sunset na, mo itong pastor, itong speaker na ginominate siya nga dito na siya ma-assign sa laing lugar. So,
And so I had to move all my stuff from this house. I will sell it, and I bought another house. I had to move it.
so kailangan ibaligyan niya akong property. Balhin ko dito. Pero kailangan ko tabang para mabalhin ito mga.
Would you like to help us?
So, gusto ka mo tabang na mo?
And so my friend and I said, sure, we
So,
will help you.
akong katong amigo na ko, kuan o sige, tabang mo.
So the next day, we had the family to move.
So, sunod adlaw, tabangan na mo sila para move out sila.
And after we finished helping them move,
Katong human na tabang sa ilaha,
the speaker told us, both of us,
katong speaker, nilingon sa among buha.
you know, I bought this farm for my family.
So, nipalit ako yung uma sa akong pamilya.
But also for people like you who want to study the Bible and work in the garden.
Dili lang para sa akong pamilya, pero pareha po ninyo nga gusto mo trabaho sa garden.
And so, would you like to stay with us?
Gusto ka mo stay, iba nang dire.
And so I said to him, well, this is that I lie because yes, I would love to study the Bible and I love to work in the garden because I'm a hippie.
So, gusto na ako kay gusto ko mabasa ang Bible o magtrabaho sa garden.
But there is a book here, it's called the New Testament, I don't know what it is.
Pero naay libro dire mo sa New Testament, ambot unsa ni wa ko kabalo kung saan siya.
I need first to read it and then I will come back.
Ako sa ning basahon kay New Testament niya balik ko dire.
So I went,
So,
and 2 weeks later I came back.
So, duha ka semana miyagi, balik ko sa lahang balay.
And after they said, we didn't believe that you would come back.
Abili mo, itong speaker yung imposible na nauna namin nga dili na kamo balik dire.
And so the speaker started to give me Bible studies.
Katong speaker, nagsugod siya o hatag na ko ang Bible study.
And guess what was the first Bible study of?
So, kabalo mo, unsa iyang unang Bible study na ko?
It was about the prophecies of Daniel.
Prophecy Daniel.
Lisod bagugayo.
Hindi, banat sa ako. Maugin ko unang Bible study.
Wagan.
So I want to make
Wala magig
the
fundamental.
parenthesis here
Okay? Daan ako, parenthesis din na rin. Tansya.
about the Sabbath school.
Tungod sa Sabbath School, nag-discuss na rin.
So we read, we studied that we need to avoid the wine of Babylon.
Atong na studian na rin nga atong likayan kanang wine sa Babylonia. Vino sa Babylonia.
Now in Daniel chapter 1,
Sa Daniel chapter 1,
what does Daniel do? He avoids the wine of Babylon.
so unsang gihimo ni Daniel, ang gilikayan niya ang vino sa Babylon.
He refused the wine of Babylon.
Iyang kuan gud gi-refuse gid niya ang vino sa Babylon.
And there is a parallel here between Daniel and our message.
So naay kalimbawan diri sa ang Daniel o sa atong mensahe.
And then the second message in Revelation 14 says,
Ang ikaduhang mensahe sa Revelation 14,
Babylon is fallen.
ingon siya, ang Babylon, ingon sa?
Open Bible.
What is Daniel chapter 2 about?
Unsa man ang ingon sa chapter 2 sa Daniel.
The statue of Daniel.
Diba, estatwa ni Daniel, sa estatwa yun si Daniel.
We can see that in the history of kingdom, Babylon will fall also.
So nakita nato sa history, ang unsay pagkahulog sa Babylon.
Because there will be another kingdom after it.
Okay, paghuman nato, nanapoy lang kingdom.
So again, there's a parallel between Daniel and Revelation.
So, nag-parallel sa pang-Daniel o sa
Revelation.
Revelation.
And then in Revelation, it says that we should not worship the beast.
Sa Revelation, nag-ingon nga dili nato worship ang
And the image of the beast.
beast o ang imahen sa beast.
And in Daniel chapter
Sa
3,
Daniel chapter 3,
we can see the three Hebrews, they refuse to worship the image of the beast.
nabasa nato ang tulo ka Hebrews naman sa sila, nag-refuse gid sila sa pag-worship ato beast.
And so we are here waiting for the second coming.
So naata karon nabulat sa kaduhang pagkaling ni Ginoong Jesus.
In fact, we heard in the Sabbath school that we are waiting for the Sunday law.
Nadungog na itong ganiyang sa atong Sabbath school, nagpaabot na sa unsa, sa Sandilo.
But are we waiting or is it God who is waiting for us?
Papuntan.
Yeah.
Nagpaabot ba tao ang ginoo mo yung paabot natin?
Oh, Jude. It's gone.
Okay. So before I continue this, I will finish my testimony.
Before na ako nipadayon, akong iwasan akong testimony sa.
So I was in this farm and I took the Bible studies.
So, ako dali farm, napako dali sa farm.
And after
Akong ipadayon ng Bible study.
a few months,
Pag humanat ang pila ka bulan na niyagi,
there was this young man that came to help the family because the church was helping this farm to start.
na isa ka batanon nga lalaki nga tabang ko dito sa ilaha.
And this young man, his name was Patrick,
Kaning lakihay ang pangalan si Patrick.
and we became friends.
So, nag-amigo me.
And you know, like any new believer, I had a lot of questions.
Kabalo mo kung bago pa ka na-convert, murag, kuwan bitaw ka, years ka, daghan kay mga mapangutana ba? So, noon anak ko.
And so every evening I was asking him a lot of questions.
So, every night, daghan kay mga pangutana sa iyaha.
And one evening I asked him about the man of Romans chapter 7.
So, sa kagabi, nangutana ko niya sa isa ning tawhanan niya sa Romans 7.
And so he explained to me.
So, yang i-explain sa ko
And so I could understand and I could see Satan showing me my sins.
So, nakasabot ko ani na Satanas, yang ipakita tanan sala na ko.
And Jesus taking them upon himself on the cross.
So, si Ginoong Jesus, yang gikuha, gibutang niya dito sa Kalbaryo. Ako nga
And
sala.
again, Satan showing me more sins and Jesus taking them upon him on the cross.
Pero si Satanas, sige ko pakita na ako sa kadaghan sa akong mga sala. Pero si Ginoong Jesus, yang gikuha, gibili niya dito sa iyang cross sa Kalbaryo.
And so this is really when I understood who was Jesus
So, mauni, nasabtan ako kung kinsa dito si Ginoong Jesus.
and why I accepted him.
So, mauni, gidawat na ko si Ginoong Jesus.
Because until then,
Kay tungod,
I had accepted the Bible, but I didn't accept Jesus.
kato sa una, gidawat na ko katong Bible, pero wala ko kasabot. Unsa si Ginoong Jesus?
Jesus was just like a statue on a cross, a wooden cross that I could see on the streets.
Murag, akong naibalan sa una nga, murag estatwa lang siya ba nga nasa dalan diha.
An idol.
Murag idulo lang siya, anak.
But now I accepted Jesus as my personal Savior.
Pero karon gidawat na ko si Ginoong Jesus bilang akong personal nga manluluwas.
And so we are waiting for supposedly the Sunday law, but in truth it is God who is waiting. But what is he waiting for?
So, sa pagkatinuod, di ba, nagpaabot na sa Sandilo. Pero si Ginoong Jesus biya nagpaabot na to.
Is Jesus waiting for the Sunday law?
Nagpaabot pa si Ginoong Jesus sa Sandilo?
Ano?
No,
No, wala siya nagpaabot sa Sandilo.
he is not.
Wala.
He is waiting for a revival in the church.
Nagpaabot si Ginoong Jesus na naay revival sa atong simbahan.
The Sunday law will come only if there is a revival in the church.
Sandilo mo, abot tayo nga yun kung naay revival sa atong church, sa atong simbahan.
Satan is not in a hurry.
Si Satanas, wala siya nagdali.
He is waiting. He is ready to wait for 600 years.
Willing na siya nga magpaabot sa 600 years.
The longer he waits, the more he's happy.
Magdugay pa, ang pinaabot ni Satanas, revival siya.
Why? Because he gets more converts on his side.
Kay daghan siya ma-convert sa iyang side.
You know the majority on which side it is, on his side.
Kabalo mo na ang majority nga nasa iyang side.
And so the more we wait, the more there are people on his side.
So the more nga paabot ta, the more pag-yun nga nasa daghang mga kabi ba.
So Satan is not in a hurry to have the Sunday law come.
Wa ganun nagdali sa tanas niya, moabot ng sandilo.
He is worried about a revival in the church.
Ang iyang gikabalakan, ang iyang kuan ba nga Uy, ang revival sa simbahan, maukid na yung kagalakay.
As long as the churches have their routine,
So, kung magsige lang ta sa atong simbahan, routine lang permi, routine.
he is happy.
Malipayon yun si Satanas.
2, 10, or 20 baptized per year, that's fine with him.
Okay lang na kay Satanas. 10 or 20 ka baptizo. Okay lang na sa iya ha. Huwag may problema.
There are millions who are born in the world in the same time,
Kabaluta, milyones
and they will go on
ang
his
tao
side.
sa kalibutan. Pero daghan yun ang mo
And so,
side.
he is okay with this.
Okay ra na siya. Okay ra na siya.
Status quo.
Status quo.
So, do we agree with this?
Agree ta ane?
Yes.
No, we should not agree with that.
Yun ta mo agree.
We need to have a revival in the church.
Kailangan yun nato ang revival sa atong simbahan.
So, how do we get a revival? Do we just ask a revival and it comes?
So, unsa man ang pagkuha natin sa revival sa simbahan, ngayon lang tao, okay na ana, revival na, revive na.
There is only one key to revival.
Naiusa ka biyahe sa revival.
What is it?
Unsa man siya.
Only one thing without which revival doesn't come.
So, usa ra gyud ka bagay na siya, pero hindi gyud na siya maabot ng revival sa simbahan.
It is prayer.
Prayer gyud.
Now, I'm not talking of 5-minute prayer in the morning
Wa ko nagsugot ka ng 5 minute na prayer ka sa unta
before going to work.
before ta mo to sa tong
I'm talking about a commitment to prayer.
Ang akong gisgutan dire ang atong commitment sa pagampo gyud.
You know, this Sabbath is consecrated to evangelism.
Karong Sabado tema dire consecrated gyud sa evangelism.
And so I would like you to turn to Acts chapter 1.
So ako mong gi-invite na atong basahon ang Acts chapter 1.
Pura, pwede, makalihog ko ni mo, Brad. Kaya na, paano ka hinduman?
Ako i-flash dire.
In verse 8.
Acts 1 verse 8.
But you shall receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you. And you shall be witnesses to me in Jerusalem, in all Judea and Samaria, and to the end of the earth.
So, kinsa to na ibisay nga Bible? Palibot sa basa ni. Acts 1:8. May ginang sabta na to sa Pinisaya ba?
Guniti. Acts chapter 1, verse 8. So Acts chapter 1 verse 8 sa Bisaya diri. Apan kamo magadawat Hinuon og gahom sa diha nga kakonsaran na kamo sa Espiritu Santo o kamo mauunya ang akong mga saksi sa Jerusalem o sa tibok Judea o Samaria o hangtod sa kinatumyan sa yuta.
Thank you. So did Jesus tell the disciples to go to the end of the world?
Ngon ba sige ng Jesus ang disipulo nga sige adto sa kalibutan.
No. He told them to go to Jerusalem
Ngon sige ng Jesus nga adto dito sa Jerusalem
and to pray.
ug mag-ampo mo.
Did he ask them to pray for 10 days?
Ingon ba sige ng Jesus nga mag-ampo sila sa 10 days?
No.
Wala.
He asked them to pray until
Ingon ni Ginoong Jesus nga mag-ampo mo hangtod
the power of the Holy Spirit comes down.
ang gahom sa balang espiritu punsad diri.
And so we need to pray until
Magampo ta
the power of the Holy Spirit comes down.
hangtod ang gahom sa balang ng Espiritu ng punsad diri.
And so I'm not here to tell you what to do.
Wala ko diri yung preach para musulti ninyo unsa inyong himuon.
But I would like to encourage you to have a commitment to prayer.
Pero ako mong gi-encourage na mag sa pagampo ba.
If you want some preparation,
Kung gusto niyo preparation,
you can watch on YouTube.
pwede mo ka tanaw sa YouTube.
There is a speaker from the General Conference.
Nice speaker, gikan sa General Conference.
His name is Pavel Goya,
Ang iyang ngalan, si Pastor Pavel Goya.
and he has a series on prayer.
Na siya series sa prayer.
And he explains how to pray.
Iyang explain dito kung unsa akong pagampo.
He can explain it better than I can do.
Ma-explain yun niya. Mas maayo din siya ma-explain kaysa ako.
But he will give you many examples,
Na siya daghang mga example nga gihatag dito.
experiences,
Mga experience.
not theory.
Dili lang nga,
It's not a theory of prayer.
dili lang theory sa prayer.
These are example, practical
Kini
examples,
siya mga practical gyud nga maayo ba.
where he spent hours in prayer.
Hatag yung time sa prayer ba?
In fact, where in the church where he was pastor,
Atong pastor pa ko ta usa ka church.
the church did not want to have evangelism,
Ay, kaning simbahan na ay sila ganahan kuan sa evangelism ba?
and so he prayed,
So, kaning nag-pray siya.
and he prayed,
Nag-pray siya.
and he prayed.
Nag-pray siya.
And baptism came through prayer, not through evangelism.
So, ang baptism, naabot siya tungod sila nag-pray yun. Dili tungod nag-evangelize sila.
Anyway, I'll leave it to you to study this,
Anyway, ako ang bibig ako ay mag-study ani.
but this is my message for you.
So, mo ni akong mensahe sa inyo karon.
And if you had not accepted yet Jesus, I would encourage you to accept him today.
Kung wala pa ninyo gidawat si Ginoong Hesus, ako ang gi-invite na dawatan ninyo si Ginoong Hesus sa inyong kinabuhi.
Amen.
Amen.